Anna Morgan with iHealthTube, and we're going to be speaking with Lyle Hurd, the publisher and editor of Total Health magazine. This is a widely nationally distributed magazine with a wealth of information in it. And today we're going to be talking about the concerns over baby boomers and their aging.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Lyle.
Thank you.
So this is a cause for concern, is it not?
Well, it is. There was just recently a nationally syndicated story that ran in newspapers that talked about the fact that right now there are something like 78 million what we call baby boomers, and that with the perspective of the longer lifespan that we have in our country today, that those baby boomers, by the time they get to the age where they're going to need some sort of caregiver, which will be 15 or 20 years possibly, are going to be in a situation where they're literally not going to be caregivers available, which means that these individuals will either have to be taken care of in the home, or there probably won't be institutions for everyone on their own, where what we talk about is understanding as early in life as you can, certainly as an adult, to do what you can do relative to age management. Not anti-aging, because that's, you can't do anything about that, but age management.
Age management is a concept that you've developed that you have a lot to tell us about.
Well, age management really is something that begins, well, first of all, the most insidious disease and deathly disease we have in our society is aging. I mean, we all are going to age. Our age perspective has gone up to 80 now. I think we said in one of our discussions before that if you eliminate all of the disasters that take place with people, and that's probably 85 or a little bit over 85. The sooner that you understand that your basic health profile, which includes diet, nutritional supplementation, exercise, attitude, and being involved with your community and people around you, that if you start and you take on very seriously all of those parts, particularly nutritional supplementation, because of the fact that we're able to support all of our organ systems, that you have a lot of control over what's going to happen, and you don't have to worry so much about being in a situation where you're going to have to rely on other people and other dollars that may not be there to help you survive.
So what you're saying is that we can start taking care of ourselves now,
Absolutely.
at any point, to circumvent what is looming ahead. Did you say 78 million baby boomers? 78 million baby boomers,
and then there are all of us that are in the generation right prior to that. The statement today is the first day of the rest of your life always is true. And if we understand our antioxidant needs, if we understand what we need to do to maintain a heart that works well, which gets into, among other things, weight. I mean, if you're 30 pounds overweight or 35 pounds overweight, every time you take a step, you're carrying an extra 35 pounds, 2 or 3 or 4 miles. But primarily we need to know that you can't count on your food for the nutrition that you need. The food that we eat today is primarily processed, and it's not all raw. It's cooked, and that's okay. It tastes good, but most of it is pretty much devoid of the nutrition that we need.
So our food is denatured, so we're not getting the nutrients that we need from our food supply. So you're saying that one of the ways that we can really be proactive is to supplement.
Begins with a good multi, and it begins with a multi that may be oriented to women or may be oriented to men. It then begins and continues with a multi that may be specific to people who are seniors. And the other thing is that you can go into your drugstore or grocery store and you can see a one-a-day vitamin, and I'm not, because that's the brand name is, but a one-a-day vitamin that's $18.95 for a month's supply. Now, everything in our economy is normally 6 times more than whatever the basic ingredient was. So you're looking at something for 30 days that would be about $3 worth of ingredients. You really need to also then look at the source of the supplementation, and you need to understand just exactly who you're buying it from, and then you need to know how they interact with each other. There's a lot of education that goes behind that, but definitely nutritional supplementation is an imperative.
So you can get a lot of education just from your magazine, Total Health.
Yes, Total Health, the internet is terrific. We work with a few organizations. We have about 1,000 articles that are on our particular website. I know that the Swanson Health website, who we work very closely with, refers their customers to that website. So you should find something, I would think, in the area that you're interested in, but you can always Google. You have to make sure you understand the source, though, because if it's someone that's trying to sell you something, that's great if whatever it is efficacious. And what's important is to find a source that you can rely on, hopefully a source that has a wide range of products that you can draw from, and then you really need to be a book buyer and a reader, because there are some wonderful books that have been put out on these ingredients and on the programs.
So you need to investigate. You need to educate, investigate, be proactive. And in terms of being caretakers with all of these boomers aging, and then like you say, the other age group that's ahead of them, won't some people be chronologically older and some people be biologically younger, and so one mate might wind up being the caretaker for another mate?
That is a very significant problem for us, not only in fact, but morally, ethically, religiously, whatever it is. You know, it's interesting, if two people are 50 years old and they go to a seminar, that's a good seminar, and they listen to what's being said, and it says, if you want to get involved in age management, you can do that. You can start today. And one of those people says, that's what I'm going to do. And the other person, for one reason or another, says, I don't really care to do that. I'm not going to take the time. Or I'm not saying that that's going to mean that you're going to be 20 years biologically younger than your chronological age. But we're running into a society today where there are a number of people where both people in a relationship are 60 years old, and they've been in a relationship for 30 years, 40 years, and one of them is chronologically 10 years older than their biological age, biologically 10 years older than their chronological age, and one may be 10 years younger. That can be because that's just nature, or it could be because of how they've handled themselves. But we really end up in a situation where there are a great number of people that are caretakers for a partner for 7 or 8 years, of that partner dying for one reason or another, of something that maybe they could have avoided, and then having to restart their lives 10 years later at 70, with the prospect of being around for another 20 years. You know, we can't rely on our children. As you know, it used to be in my day that people went back to their children's homes. And again, because of the fact that we're in a reactive healthcare system, it's pretty tough to rely on the healthcare system. For people that are healthy, it's pretty tough. I don't know what kind of doctor you go to, but I do know that most people either go to a doctor that's their practice is owned by a hospital, or it's run by an HMO, and you have a 15-minute appointment. And when you go to that appointment, you'll notice that there's a whole waiting room of people, half of whom are senior citizens who have a problem that came up today that they've got to see somebody about. And so basically, you need to learn to be co-captain of your own healthcare team.
Co-captain of your own healthcare team.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Lyle, for talking with us. We'll have to meet again and discuss this concept of age management, because I think it's very, very important.
I look forward to it.
All right, thank you.